Hi, everyone. Paul Dixon here, and with me is my co-host,
Dan.
I want to
I don't
let
have
you
anything witty
introduce
this week.
yourself. I don't want witty. I just wanted your name.
I promise one of these days we'll get this down,
Oh,
or we won't.
Welcome to Film Vets. Yeah, so we're going to be talking today about some trailers. We're going to watch them, and we're going to react to them and give our thoughts. And hopefully Dan will have some witty comments then. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
What's the first one we got, Dan?
The knock at the cabin door.
Love it. Let's do it.
Are we gonna sing along?
Yes, of course!
I wanna put on my boogie shoes.
There is a woman carrying something that looks like a pick with a chain and a mallet head.
Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision. If you fail to choose, the world will end.
Okay. I will say this right off the bat. The audio design, the audio in the trailer sounds fantastic. Like the knocks on the door. I love Dave Bautista. I love the cast, Jonathan Groff, Rupert Everett. It's a great cast. I like the premise. Here's my issue right off the bat with anything Shyamalan does. He's hit or miss, and it's mostly miss whenever he makes something. And a perfect example is Old.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love Old as a premise. I love the idea of it. I love the setup and what it is supposed to be about. The execution that Shyamalan does, though, it makes me angry. It really does.
To be fair,
a
lot of his premises are absolutely fascinating, and I will absolutely, 100% stand by that. His execution is awful.
So yeah, we haven't seen the movie, so we're not giving it a fair shake in that sense. But from the trailer itself, what's your thoughts?
Okay, so to begin with, the trailer, I will concede the trailer looks intriguing. It looks good, but from the limited amount of information that we have, looking good and content are going to be two completely different things. There were some things said towards the end of that trailer that it might be an indication. Do you remember Mark Wahlberg in, I think it was The Happening, where he's like, "What? No. Like,
No.
he is an amazing,
No.
he's an amazing actor, and you can only do so much when the execution is not done well, right? When the
Right.
writing is just not there. To me, Knock at the Cabin it has a slight trace element of that in there. Near the end, when he says you have a horrible choice ahead of you, and if you fail to choose, okay. Whether you have option A or option B.
B.
And now the world's ending.
Oh, well, I did. Hey, I 50-50 chance,
Exactly. It's a coin flip. But no matter what, it's a choice, right? You're not failing to choose. You are making a right or wrong choice.
So I actually saw a movie with a very similar premise in that choice. Not anything world ending or anything like that. But
Sophie's Choice?
No. And I already know the ending. Whatever. It was The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which was Colin Farrell, Barry Keoghan, I think it was Nicole Kidman. I'm trying to remember, but very good movie, very disturbing film. And towards the end, there's a choice presented very similar to you have to pick between loved ones. I don't think it'll be anywhere as near engrossing as that was, unfortunately. I will say this: the reason a trailer exists is to get people interested in seeing a film, and I am interested because, again, Shyamalan is a hit or miss. He has hits. We can't deny that. Sixth Sense, Unbreakable is a classic. I even liked Glass, and I know some people
I did
didn't.
too. I
liked Split.
I liked Glass. I thought, yes, Split was also, I think, very good.
I didn't like the end of
if-
Glass. I didn't like how that ended, but for the most part, that
Yeah,
film
but it gave you closure whether you liked it or not, and that's, I think, what I liked about it is you whether you like it or not. Here's the end.
It's like you go to your ex-girlfriend and you're like, you get closure, and it's something like, "Oh, you were an idiot." It's not what you want to hear, but you got closure.
Exactly. You wake up and you've urinated yourself, but you were drunk the whole time. It was just all a bad dream. That's pretty much what that was. So, anyways, are you ready for me to become unchained?
No. You need to back up. Was that something from your life that happened, or
no? No.
All right.
I have several.
It sounded
of those
a little
things.
too personal. It sounded a little too personal.
No.
When you're in Pennsylvania and you're driving down the street and you hit a kid and you keep driving, it's like, Dan, it's a little too specific.
No, it's only specific when you have to move the tire jack to put the body in the trunk, and then you have to make sure you go 35.3 miles away to the creek. That's too specific.
The creek.
Oh
wow.
So,
sorry,
anyway,
go ahead.
So the problems I have with this, and I'm glad that you brought up some of his better movies. I did want to concede that he's had some decent movies, Sixth Sense, Glass, Split, different things like that. I'll give you that. I watched Old, and the premise was interesting, much like the rest of his movies. Interesting. But it made me want to carve my eyeballs out with a used jockstrap. Now, with that being said, this is coming from the mind that has turned, and I'm going to come up with the top 4 villains that I can think of that he has created throughout his storytelling. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah,
so
sure.
being Amish, trees, visiting grandma, and time. Those are 4 of his villains that he has created. And I just... Now he's turned knocking on a door
visiting
into a villain. I understand where he's trying to go.
Grandma's
with this. 30 knocks
creepy.
on your door. Wow. It depends on the grandma, I guess. I've had some give me cookies, and I've had others give me lectures. So
I just want to touch on that movie a little bit. It frustrated me very much, the fact that the lady just did not understand that it was the wrong parents. I know it's a spoiler.
I've never seen the movie.
It wasn't. It turned out to be these escaped crazy people who took over the house instead of their actual grandparents.
Ah, gotcha. So you would think that the kids would go, "I've never seen you before in my life." So you know what? It's not.
Well, that was the idea. Was
good
the premise was they never met their grandparents, and they go to this house. But the mother, they found a way to not have her ever see the grandparents or talk to them, and it was just like that would never happen in real life.
No. When you make the handoff, you are physically present. At the very least, just not how that works.
But she was like at an airport or mobile or something, and still you want to talk to them and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" I don't know. It's just to leave your kids in the I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. I didn't care for it, but to each their own.
I'll watch Knock at the Cabin, just to kind of see. And I'm interested in the cast. I think the cast is going to be great.
Oh yeah.
But then again, they had Mel Gibson for Signs, and at the time he was not as crazy. Water. You just had to wait for it to rain.
I can see
the most common freaking event on the planet Earth You just wait. He's
Yeah,
in
no.
a cornfield. Clearly, just
Now,
wait.
there is a theory, and I'm going to say it's a theory because it is. It's not canon for the film. But I kind of like this. Basically, they said they're not aliens. They're actually demons. And why that particular water harms them is because it's holy water in the priest's home. I don't think it's real. I think it's just an oversight of Shyamalan saying, well, water just kills them, whatever.
Okay,
but
all right. Let's say for the sake of the
Yeah.
argument that they're demons, right? Why
Yeah.
do they get foiled by a door? Just pop up somewhere else.
Have you ever broken into a door?
Have you ever heard of the gates of hell? The same concept. It's push or pull.
Although, to be fair,
Or
vampires can't
it
go through doors without
lifts.
invitation. Although vampires can't go through doors unless invited. That's a thing. That's a thing. Anyway,
But
so
vampires
Shyamalan's a
are
genius,
not
is what I'm saying.
demons.
Shyamalan's a genius, and you're an idiot if you think otherwise.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, everybody have a great evening.
Knock at the cabin. Dan loses. Flawless
Yeah,
victory.
okay. You know what? Whenever this is a terrible, terrible time, you're gonna wish that you were in the cast of Old, just sitting there getting older, getting dementia, so you could forget you ever watched it. I
it's a good
felt
film.
jealous. I felt jealous of the people that got old, forgot where they were, and died halfway through the movie of Old. Because I'm like, you don't have to watch this.
Oh, that's terrible. That's really funny, but it's terrible.
No,
Okay.
it was just so bad.
I came out of the theater with Tyler and Nadine, and I was like, I liked the premise, didn't like the execution, and that goes for a lot of his films, unfortunately, as of late.
I just wish I was
or is
executed.
And The Last Airbender. I'm not even gonna.
Oh,
I'm
don't
sorry. Oh God! Did
I don't have
did
anything
drink
around
something?
me to just.
Throw the computer. That's the end of the episode.
I threw my.
Yeah, I mean, look, he has a lot of goodwill, though. I will say this. He has a lot of great ideas. I really want to see him succeed. I want this movie to be good. Will it be?
He may have a lot of goodwill, but if you keep your eyes peeled, you can find a lot of his films at Goodwill too.
We're going to watch the trailer for John Wick 4. For John Wick 4. Now, I think I've seen this, but I honestly cannot remember it. I think it came out on a day when everything was like, it was like a release day of all kinds of trailers, and I think it released. I could be wrong, but I just remember being bombarded. Yeah, let's take a look.
I promise I haven't seen it.
Oh, good. Have you seen all the other film?
Yeah, I'm caught up. I've seen 1, 2, and meh.
Dude, 3 was the best one. What are you talking about?
3 was
3 was amazing. I will not hear this slander.
3 was exceptionally okay.
He's riding on a horse. A horse, Dan.
Yeah, well, you know who else rides on a horse? Jockeys. I don't see them with. Actually, you know what? That would make the Kentucky Derby really interesting. Like, you just have all
they
the
throw
jockeys
axes-
with like 2 machine guns. Tick, 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 tick.
They throw knives at each other while they're.
Yeah.
I would watch that. Anyway, let's watch the trailer.
You ready, John?
Yeah.
Wow, looks like some great action. Jesus, the shotgun to the face.
Yeah, that was pretty pronounced. I don't think he's getting back up.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the John Wick series. I actually recently watched the first film.
The first
really
was
excellently.
like the best sleeper hit. Like it came out of
Can-
nowhere. Nobody was expecting it. And all of a sudden it came out and it just floored everyone.
I did not intend to even see that film. It did not look interesting to me. And when I did, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Wow.
I remember everybody making jokes like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna go off the deep end because somebody shot his dog," and then you watch it and you're like, "Yeah, you know."
Now, I get it
Like,
now.
He
I get
deserved.
it.
I've walked a mile in his shoes. I get it.
Keanu Reeves' acting career, starting out doing a comedy, Bill and Ted, and then in the 90s becoming this big action star with Point Break and Speed, and then he did The Matrix, which just changed everything. I mean, it wasn't just his career that changed, it changed the film landscape. He's just always been consistently great. Even the smaller films he's been in, like Always Be My Maybe.
Oh,
as
that
himself.
was awesome. Yeah.
He shows up as
He
himself.
was like an over-exaggerated version of himself, and it was beautiful.
Let's touch on the fact that, just real quick, Keanu Reeves, he is probably one of the best celebrities working today as a person. Like, everything I hear about this guy, he's just so welcoming and friendly and sweet. I would love to meet him one day. He seems like the coolest person ever. I just wanted to touch on that. And every time I see some news about him, it just makes my heart warm. It's kind of like Brendan Fraser. You're just kind of like, oh, I'm so glad he's in the news again. Thank God.
You know what you signed up for. No friends. No relationships. What we do is too important.
Stone? Stone!
So I had no idea that was going to be a behind the scenes with the trailer. What are your thoughts? I can see you're bubbling. You're bubbling.
So I'm glad that you kind of mistakenly got the behind the scenes kind of esque trailer instead of just a flat trailer, because there's some warning signs I typically look for, and oh boy, did they do it. So first off, you had somebody going, "Oh, this is going to be epic." Is it really? Second, somebody said it's going to be big scale as to small scale, and then they wanted to make it as realistic as possible. If that's the case, then it should just be a bunch of people in a Walmart parking lot slapping each other and throwing, down. Maybe a shopping cart at each other. Let's just,
Man, why don't we,
give somebody a little bit more strength.
Can we make that movie? That sounds great.
We'll call it The Lot. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Nobody take that. Nobody take that idea. That is our idea. You do not take it.
Somebody said,
like
the way they brought it out, they're like, "Oh, we want to make it look, have a certain feel to it." The only feel I got was Joan Wick. That's it. That's what they're going for. Is just the gender reversed John Wick, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I just don't know what they're doing.
You know what it reminds me of? And this is a Netflix. There's 2 Netflix shows, 3 actually, that I think about it, and one of them has Gal Gadot in it. Red Notice, The Old Guard, and Extraction. I had no interest in seeing any of those movies. I started Old Guard and I got bored. I saw the trailer for Red Notice. And I had no interest in it, even though I love all the actors in that too.
Honestly, I've finished that one. I feel ashamed. I love Ryan Reynolds. I couldn't finish it.
You know what it is? It feels generic. It feels like a generic action movie.
There it is
for Netflix, and I think.
Yep.
And I hate to feel that way, because I love Gal Gadot. I love her as Wonder Woman. I loved her in everything else she's done almost. It's just, this doesn't look interesting to me. It looks like every other action generic film. And again, I got to give a movie a fair shake sometimes, but I also have to take into consideration, is it worth my time? Does the trailer entice me? Do I want to watch it? I kind of don't. I'm sorry to say. Again,
there's no hook for me.
No. It just, this
other
could be
than
any
somebody
other generic...
promising to me that it's going to be epic and big scale and realistic. I already have a movie pitch that's all of that. You know,
With the Walmart, the lot.
The Lot coming to theaters in 2052.
Wow, we're gonna be dead by then.
Pretty much, because by the time we expire, somebody will take the idea and make it a good movie.
By then they'll be like, all right, what have we not done? Well, these two guys on the internet were talking about a movie where Walmart gangs fight each other in the parking lot. Like, let's do it.
Everything else has already been done. Why not? And then it's just like the highest grossing film of all time, beating Titanic and Avatar. And
yeah, but the reboot's gonna suck.
Whatever.
Now that tangent's out of the way. So, if you saw the trailer and the behind the scenes, what did you think? Comment and share your thoughts in the comments, and also like and subscribe to our channel. I got nothing else to say. I just was not into this trailer, but please let us know what you thought.
Me neither. But on a side note, if you're into my movie idea, leave a comment. Let me know. Maybe I'll try to find a way to put a trailer for that together. It'll be epic, big scale, and as realistic as possible.
Welcome to our trailer review for the greatest beer run ever. Is that it? Ever.
Yeah.
Greatest beer run ever. I have not seen this trailer. Dan has. So
I have not actually. I really haven't. I saw the little clip of it and I went, we have to watch this. So I don't know what's coming either. I just know the premise and I'm excited about it. It's kind of right in our alley. I can tell you, I believe it's Vietnam era.
Okay.
Are you ready?
What are we doing?
We're gonna run for our lives.
We're halfway home. Halfway?
I'm Chicky Donahue, and I am not supposed to be in Vietnam.
I'd like to go over to Vietnam, track down all the boys in the neighborhood, and give them a beer.
I could do that.
Do what?
Bring in beer.
He's not serious. He's hammered. Look at him.
The man's stone sober. That's his 5th beer, maybe, tops.
I'm going to Vietnam, and I'm bringing a beer! Ta-da!
Chicky?
I brought you beer.
You shouldn't be here. You think this is funny?
I'm not doing this for laughs. I'm doing it for all you guys.
You don't get it, do you, chick? This isn't a John Wayne movie where you know who the good guys are and you know who the bad guys are.
I didn't come all this way just to quit.
Somebody's got to be here to see what's going on. I want the truth told. For them.
You got a good heart, Chicky. It's your brains I'm worried about.
Who's this hand job? It's my next door neighbor. He brought me a beer.
Hi.
Not too many days away.
Yeah, really soon. Yeah, I mean, Peter Farrelly, I'm surprised. That did not feel like a Peter Farrelly film. If you remember his other work, like Dumb and Dumber and Something About Mary, that seemed
over
really
the top
different
screwball comedy. That one's got a little touch of heart in it. Like it's going to be a good ride.
You know what? Actually, so Peter Farrelly made The Green Book,
That was a very good one.
It seems like he's becoming more interested in making those kind of films as opposed to the screwball comedies, because this felt very much like a from the heart type of film, despite it having very comedic moments. I really like Zac Efron as an actor. I think he's had some missteps here and there. Bill Murray. I mean, those two alone got me excited to see this. But going back to Zac Efron, extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. Weird long name, but whatever. He, despite what you might think of the film if you've seen it, he is great in it. Like, he really brings his A game for that role. There was one particular scene that creeped me out. I do recommend watching it, but going back to this is cool. The thing about war stories, there's always a new story to be told. There's always individuals that are involved in the war effort that you can always find something of heroism or people stepping up and doing something incredible under dire circumstances. And it seems like there's never-ending stories involving them, people like that. And I wouldn't say going over
times call for extraordinary measures.
Yeah, I would say going over to deliver beer is not like the first heroic thing I would ever think of doing.
No, and I think that alone makes it interesting, the fact that some dude actually did that,
Right.
like that's come on, that is awesome.
I mean, it's very no. I think the movie's going to touch upon this because it's very much like not necessarily a joke to him, but he's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm going to go over there and boost morale, and
Yeah.
it's no big deal. Only to find that the war effort is extremely terrible, and the terrible things that happen there will affect him. I think it's really interesting. I'm excited to see it. What did you think about it?
Oh, I'm very, very excited to see it. I mean, like you had mentioned that there are no shortage of like heroic movies, and you've got some like Hacksaw Ridge that are just exceptional, service and duty for your brother in arms. This is a little different, I think, because it's a different kind of brother. He didn't go over as a soldier. He went over to try to help support his friends, the soldiers, the war itself, and he's going to go through a personal journey. But I think it's fascinating because you're getting to see Vietnam from a civilian standpoint of somebody that just had good intentions, and it's going to be, I think, awesome. And Zac Efron is going to knock it out of the park, I think, and that's unusually high praise for me. Usually, I can really kind of pick something apart until there's nothing left. This time around, honestly, I'm just excited for it. Like it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued, and the fact it's going to be streaming directly on Apple Plus will make it a lot easier for me because you and everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Like we won't have to go out to see this. So okay, yeah, cool. Thanks for watching with us. Or watching us talk about it. Thank you for your service, Dan.
Hey, thank you for your service, and thank you all to all the veterans watching this for your service as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep up to date on any new videos coming out. Give this video a like if you like it and want to see more like it, because that's a whole lot of redundant likes.
Yes, and please comment about the trailer if you saw it. What did you think? And we'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, talk to you soon.